I can unscrew you and cut you down, but I nailed you in with a nail gun, so you're not going anywhere.
I've learned a lot since I moved here, and it turns out that not being afraid to be bad at something when you're starting out is a skill in itself, and one I put a lot of practice into this week.
I'm in the process of building my dream chicken coop, and I spent a couple of very frustrating days last week leveling the base the coop is going to stand on, and I abandoned my original plan to stand it on gravel and just put it straight on soil. It's treated timber, it'll last a while, and I thought, you know what, that's what the guy who designed the plans did, that'll be fine. But there was some concern in the comments, and more importantly, I could almost hear my mum's voice in my head saying, Jude, if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing properly. And the supplies for the coop were not cheap, so I'm starting this week with what I'm sure will be a couple of very frustrating days moving the coop and lining the trench with bricks. It means I'm going to have to get my spirit level out again, but hopefully it'll be worth it. The fact I even put the spirit level away in the first place was foolish optimism.
I found all these bricks on the property, so at least the solution to this problem isn't costing anything.
The coop is level and none of the wood is in direct contact with the soil. That's the best I can say for it. There are gaps between the bricks and there are gaps between some of the bricks and the wood. But when I put the hardware cloth on the inside of the run, I will run it down over the bricks so that it's touching the soil, and hopefully that'll keep everything out. And if it doesn't and I end up overrun by mice, I'll take the chickens out on a little holiday and I'll put Sven in the run and he will deal with it because he is a very efficient mouser. My mum used to grow runner beans when I was a kid, and I've got distinct memories of her using the free CDs you'd get with the Sunday papers and hanging them up from the canes to try and stop the birds pecking at the flowers. My beans don't have flowers on yet, but something's pecking at the leaves, and I picked up these CDs from Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to hang them up and hope for the best. Because I made the height of the coop shorter and I'm using wood that's a slightly different thickness to the 2x4s used in the plan, I'm having to come up with my own measurements for the walls. And I'm sure there's some kind of formula I could use, but I am not a maths person, so trial and error it is. That's not how it's supposed to go.
There are people on YouTube that make this stuff look easy. I am not one of them. This is by far the most complicated project I've ever attempted, and if you haven't watched my videos before, it will become quite obvious that I have no idea what I'm doing.
It's taken all morning, but I've got 2 of the wall studs in. At this rate, the chicken coop might be finished in time for Christmas. Who needs turkey? We can just have eggs. Okay. I have made an error. The top plate is not supposed to sit on top of the posts at the front. It's supposed to be level with the posts at the front, which means all of my wall studs are too tall. I can unscrew you and cut you down, but I nailed you in with a nail gun, so you're not going anywhere. I feel like buying a nail gun was probably a bad plan. I make too many mistakes for nail guns. This weather is bananas. $47 and 7/16 in millimeters. 1205. 7/16 of an inch. Who uses inches anyway? How am I so bad at this? I need to remember to build in more time to do everything twice when I make a mistake, because that took a lot longer than I thought it was going to, and that was the easier of the two walls because the other one has a door in it. There's a few ominous looking grey clouds in the sky, and I'd really like to finish framing out the front wall of the coop today. I've got 5 pieces of wood left to measure, cut and fit. That feels like it should be an achievable goal, but you never know with me. Something somewhere isn't quite right with my angles because the bottom of the door opening is 2 centimeters smaller than the top, and I can't work out exactly where that's gone wrong, so I don't really know how to fix it. I'm just going to keep going, which I'm sure will come back to bite me later, but who needs doors that are the same size anyway? I'm planting some comfry crowns so that next year I'll be able to make all of the nitrogen-rich plant food that I could possibly need.
Sven and I spent a rainy morning planning projects, and I'd quite like to complain to HR about the workload distribution in this partnership.
I've got one wall left to frame in on the coop, and I'm going to try and get it done today in between rain showers.
I almost look like I know what I'm doing here. Sadly, that will not last long.
How is the back? 3 inches taller than the front. How has this happened? The novelty of this is wearing thin. I don't know how I've managed it, but there is a drastic difference in measurements between the front and the back. So now, instead of doing what I thought would be an easy job, I have to fix past dudes' mistakes, which I seem to be doing quite a lot lately. Four hours later, and I'm back to where I was this morning, except this time everything is almost the same height and pretty much level. The angles aren't perfect, but I'm pretty confident I'll be able to make it work when I put the roof on, hopefully. Lots of people asked why I didn't just turn the shed that was here originally into a chicken coop, and this is why. I've made a lot of mistakes and it hasn't been easy, and I'm still nowhere near finished, but you only learn things by making mistakes, and I have a lot to learn in order to get everything done on this property, and a chicken coop felt like a pretty good low stakes project to start with. Please work. I'm not sure how much mistake recovery I've got left in me. I was really hoping to get the framing finished this week, and I might have done if I hadn't spent half my time redoing everything. But the wind is picking up, it's starting to rain, so I'm going to admit defeat, and hopefully I'll finish it next week. We'll see. Before I head inside for the evening, I thought I would do a little harvest of some radishes, which apart from salad leaves, is the first crop that is ready to pick in the garden. Thanks for watching. See you next weekend.